Tabari. Thus Allah removed the sorrow from his messenger, reassured him about that which he had feared, and cancelled the words which Satan had cast on his tongue, that their gods were exalted high-flying cranes or goddesses, whose intercession was accepted with approval. He now revealed, following the mention of Alat, Aluza, and Manat, the words, "Are yours the males and his the females? That indeed is an unfair division. They are but names which you and your fathers have given, to the words, to whom he wills and accepts."
This became Quran 53:21. Not only does this mean that Allah copy-edits Satan, it proves Muhammad didn't know where he was, or even who said what to whom, when. The aforementioned quote was from the 53rd surah, which came before the 22nd. In fact, the 53rd was the 45th surah handed down. It precedes the Satanic event by many, many years. The 22nd surah was the 107th out of 114 in the order of revelation. The Hadith says that these spiritual revelations followed one another, yet that is impossible. Not only is their order reversed, they are separated by a sea of words, hundreds of miles, and a decade of time. So Islam has a fatal problem. If the rationale for dismissing the Satanic verse and Quraysh bargain episode isn't valid, or even plausible, Muhammad's motivations for establishing the submission religion were about vain desires, not godly revelations. There is no way for Muslims to differentiate between spiritual guidance and satanic deception. An acute problem considering how much of the Quran is fixated on Satan's realm, pain and punishment. Whether the Quraysh bargain and satanic verses occurred or not, the Quran cannot be trusted, for it claims they did. Further, a perfect and eternal tablet cannot be out of order, inverted, or grossly disjointed, especially on an issue of this magnitude. The entire validity of Islam pivots around the satanic verse, Quraysh bargain episode. If Muhammad was enticed by sex, money, and power, and capitulated, as these hadiths testify, and the Quran confirms, Islam is finished. The credibility of its lone prophet is tarnished beyond redemption. His motivations are exposed for all to see. As a result, Qusay becomes the founder of Islam. Muhammad is simply a self-serving promoter. And Khadija's profitable profit plan suddenly becomes the only viable explanation. More devastating still, these events do not stand alone. Muhammad admitted that Islam was designed to enrich himself at the expense of others. We have examined his confessions, and his behavior from this point on, as chronicled by the Hadith, becomes entirely focused on sex, power, and money. As for Satan, Muhammad confessed to being demon-possessed. According to the Quran, his neighbors recognized the signs. They even offered to help him exorcise his demons. The fact that Muhammad admitted to having been inspired by Satan has caused many to say that Islam is satanic, and not without just cause. The evidence is overwhelming. The symbols used throughout the Islamic scriptures are all from the occult. The snake, personification of Satan, led Abraham to the Kaaba and revealed its foundations. A snake is the only creature said to have lived in the Kaaba. The darkened or crescent moon, another satanic symbol, representing counterfeit light, is the religion's logo. Allah was a moon god. He swore by the moon. His stone was black. The darkness of night is the best time to worship him and recite his message. The Quran was endorsed by jinn, demons from Satan's tribe. Muhammad listened to soothsayers. He believed in magic spells. An occultist saved his father's life. Another wanted to lay with him. Even the seal of prophethood on Muhammad's back was said to look like an apple, the image of satanic temptation. And Satan played a starring role in the Quran, being named 10 times more often than Muhammad. Then there's the Quran's depiction of Allah. He spends his time in Satan's realm, tormenting the inmates of hell. He is never shown playing with the virgins in paradise. Allah, like Satan, is sadistic. He leads men astray, shackles them, and drags them into hell, where he is personally involved, using their bodies as the faggots for his fires. He turns men on a spit, makes them eat thorns, and pours boiling water on them for what he calls their entertainment. Some will protest that the same book and prophet call Allah merciful, and they claim that Satan is their foe. But that is the greatest proof of all. Satan never identifies himself. He is the master of camouflage. The Quranic orders to crucify unbelievers and wipe infidels out to the last, followed by Allah is merciful and kind, is perfectly transparent. It's exactly what the devil would do, appear to be divine while inspiring devilish behavior. In fact, the behavior in Allah's heaven would lead men to the biblical hell. Satan is the master of deceit. Black is white. The lie becomes true, and everything leads away from a relationship with the one true God. There are but 3 differences between Satan and Allah, and those differences cause me to believe that Islam wasn't wholly satanic. Satan is real. He is powerful and brilliant. Allah was imagined. He was impotent and foolish. Much of Islam was Mohammed's doing. He is to be despised, not pitied. He, like the demonic spirit that inspired him, must be exposed and rebuked. The Hadith claims that the Quranic remedy for the satanic indulgence is the 53rd surah. Let's see if Team Islam gets itself out of trouble, or if it digs itself in even deeper.
The star
is named after Satan.
Quran 53 verse 1. I call to witness the star when it dips,
a.k.a. the morning star, the very name Isaiah ascribed to Halal bin Shakar, the demon we call Lucifer.
Your companion, Muhammad, is neither confused, deceived, nor misled, nor does he speak out of his own desire,
unless he's tempted with sex, power, and money.
It is a revelation revealed. He was taught this Quran by the supreme intellect, Gabriel.
Actually, Lucifer.
One free from any defect in body or mind. For he, Gabriel, rose and became stable in stately form, clear to view, while he was in the highest part of the horizon. Then he approached and came closer. Then he prostrated. He was at a distance of but 2 bow lengths, or even nearer.
So that there will be no confusion, each time Gabriel's name was read in this last quotation from the 53rd surah, it was actually inserted by the translators and is not there in the text itself. The claim that he was bowing, however, in this passage is telling. Neither Gabriel nor Lucifer would ever have bowed to any man, so Muhammad is ad-libbing here. Since the Hadith says that Gabriel was the source of Quranic inspiration, Islam has tumbled into the abyss, no matter how this verse is interpreted.
Bukhari. Allah's apostle used to listen to Gabriel whenever he came, and after his departure he used to recite the Quran as Gabriel had recited it. Gabriel used to meet him every night to teach him the Quran.
But we have been told that Allah was the supreme intellect, that he was the most wise, all-knowing, and that he had no partners. Since Allah's Gabriel would never claim a superior position to Allah, this cannot be Gabriel. So who might it be? Here are some clues. The surah is named after Halal bin Shakar, the arrogant one who is the son of the rising sun, and it's presented in connection with the satanic verses. By way of witness, the
star
is calling himself the
supreme intellect, one free from any defect in body or mind.
The only angel who considered himself to be superior to God was Halal bin Shakar, Satan. For such blasphemy, Satan was thrown out of heaven. So now he says he's not only landed on his feet in perfect stately form, he has risen. As clearly as words allow, he has just told us that he has fulfilled biblical prophecy and transformed himself into an angel of light to deceive a Gentile messenger with a new gospel and prostration. You'll find a complete analysis of Isaiah and Paul's prophecies and their Islamic fulfillment in the Mein Kampf chapter, starting on page 380, which we will read to you later.